for another live Q&A Saturday, in which the idea and purpose of this here Q&A scenario and session is for me to be able to answer any gardening or chicken question that you may have, largely because I do a lot of videos on Mondays and Wednesdays. However, not always am I able to answer all of the various comments. So if there aren't any live questions that are asked during this here video, I'll go through and read the questions that have been asked and give an answer to them so that you aren't neglected, right? Because it's all about family, it's all about unity, and the main thing about having a great, successful family is conversation and communication. So that's what I'm here for. And, as you all come in or when you come in next time, you'll know what to do, right? And so I look to do these once a month. And if the frequency needs to go up, definitely let me know, and we'll go from there, right? So I hope, first of all, that your gardenings are doing well. I hope that your gardenings are doing great. Your gardens are doing great. And I first as well have to say thank you to all that has wished my family and I well, and wished us well during the hurricane or the tropical storm Ian. We survived it well. And so, first of all, thank you for looking out for us. Mr. Larry, sending the email and all that good stuff. But, it meant something, right? It showed that we are a family and we are together. But nonetheless, had to say kudos to you. However, again, for those that are coming in, these lives are for you to be able to ask your question directly and get an answer specifically so that you may garden well, so that you may raise your chickens well, or if you're trying to build something, build that well. So definitely let me know in the comment section whatever your question is, and I'll be apt to answer it, okay? So if you don't throw up any questions, I'm going to answer the question that has already been asked to me in previous videos. And so let's go through it, right? We're just going to go through the comments here on the previous videos. If you don't have one there, right, throw them up and I'll answer it. And so boom, 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 boom. They say, oh, very cool. Love the grow bags. This is how I do in the spring. Cool. Somebody already saying what you're doing now in the fall is what I'll look to do in the spring, which is cool. Everybody has their time in which they look to garden. Boom, 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 boom. Boom. Okay, that wasn't really a question. Do I have an update? Do I have an update on the bougainvilleas? Sarah asked me on that bougainvillea question or video. But nonetheless, I do have an update on the bougainvilleas. I moved them. First of all, I moved them because when I planted them, they were boom, 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 in a grow pot scenario, and they kept falling over. So I was like, oh snap, that can't work. So what I did do was plant them in front of the front yard. I have like a fence in my front yard area, and I planted them along there. Well, one survived, one did not, and so I have one of the two, and it actually grows well. I've just vined it to the fence because it was like protruding out. And for those that don't know, bougainvilleas are very thorny, and so I had to like maneuver. And I will say, like, working with bougainvilleas isn't the easiest. And so not only did I plant the bougainvillea along the fence, but I also did some jasmine, in which I'm trying to let it vine through and beautify and all that good stuff. But slow and steady. It's not growing as fast as I wanted to, which most things don't. However, But I did see a comment, so let me see. Let me get to it. First time catching a live. Watch one of your videos in regards to getting rid of rodents. Thanks for the info. Boom, boom, boom. It is working. Awesome. Thank you so much. I'm glad that it did work for you. It has worked for me as well. And the cool thing is I've sprayed. It's rain, and I haven't had to spray again. So I don't know. Maybe those rodents have a great memory to realize that this isn't the yard that I need to go into. And it works out great because now I have chickens, and now I have other things that I planted back there. So glad not to have the raccoons and the possums back there. Occasionally I'll see cats, but not really. So I'm glad it worked for you, because it definitely worked for me, and it has been working. So hey, give it a try. We're here. We're here to help. And so that was the update for the bougainvilleas. Those birds just won't let you be great. That is very true. The chickens, when I'm back there doing videos, the chickens are always talking. And to hear a chicken talk, just go to my videos. Yeah, I was gonna try to do it and make the sound, but it's too early for that. Oh man. All right. So let's see. FYI, raccoons feces can be deadly. All right. So to the rodent scenario, can be deadly if you have any. Use gloves. It has worms and it can make you sick. And there are videos on it. Beware of it. You have a garden. Use extreme caution. People have died from it. Oh, that's cool to know. So raccoon feces, as is being said, is very deadly. So if you do have raccoons in your yard, especially if they are around your garden, be very cautious and mindful of your garden, largely because if they poop in your garden, you will then have the residue of the poop in your garden, and you don't want to eat, from what is being said, the garden if the raccoon poop has been laid there. Okay, so be mindful. For those that have rodents, get them out, okay? And there's a video for how to do so. Good to know you and your family made it through the hurricane safely. Oh man, far too kind for that. How are you doing now? How did it hold up? So this is in relation to the pallet deck, right? And so with the pallet deck, I pulled it up. It was in the front. I did a video for that as well, of course. But it lasted probably about a year before I started feeling like it giving in certain places, largely because I think it was like getting some termites or whatever. Yeah, because termites eat wood, and so or whatever other bugs eat woods. But nonetheless, it had to go. So it lasted for a year. I pulled it out, and now I have a big open space in the area that I look to do flowers and different things like that. So it lasted for a year to Pac-Man, who asked about the deck. But I did see a question. Boom. Do you recommend planting sweet potatoes? That's a fun question. That's a fun question. And my honest answer to that is yes, with the idea, if you're curious about how sweet potatoes grow them so you'll know for yourself. But then, two, if you're looking to grow to eat, I would say that it's a thing. You would just have to grow more than what you're thinking, right? So as you go to the store or whatever and you buy sweet potato slips, is what they're called. Instead of like seedlings, they're called slips. But nonetheless, you go to the store, you buy them. I would say buy at least 8, right? If you're a family of 1, maybe you can get by with 6. But if you're anywhere between 3 and more, you want to at least get 8. And so I say that because they, per slip, you may get about 3 to 4, 5 if you're lucky, sweet potatoes per slip. And so that's a thing, right? But then they also take up space in the sense where they vine. And so the vines, the leaves of the sweet potatoes vine, and you have to make sure you have a trellis built in a way that it's going to, or a trellis fence, right? It may be a fence that you have that you want the slips or the leaves to grow through, but they're going to try to find somewhere to grow. And so they do take up space in that respect. But if you go vertically, obviously you can save more space than if it goes out and things like that. So definitely be mindful of that. But outside of that, I say do it. I've done it. I'm doing it again right now because I love it. I love just looking at the leaves. They say you can eat the sweet potatoes, which is actually a root. So that's a fun thing about growing stuff. You get to find out what things are. Potatoes are roots. And so the sweet potatoes in the ground, you won't see it until you pull it up. However, the leaves that grow on vines and things like that are said to be edible as well. So not only can you eat the sweet potato, which we're used to eating, but you can also eat the sweet potato leaves. And so they say it tastes like spinach. I say they say because I haven't tried it myself yet, but I do look to do so. And so my ideal is that I'm growing sweet potatoes now so that I can have them for Thanksgiving, right? And so that's a thing too. Sweet potatoes probably take about, I believe it's like 5 to 6 months to actually grow to full maturity. So, keep that in mind when you're growing, because that's a thing too. Let me see, let me make sure. Sweet potatoes grow. Boom. So boom, 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 boom. You definitely want to make sure that when you do grow them, that you are mindful that the time that it takes for it to actually grow to maturity. So, all things considered, grow it. I say grow it, but just know, yep, it's 120 days, which equates to about 4 months. Yeah, 4 months, and you're in there, right? So 4 months from now, we're looking at what? November, December, January, February. So in the month of love, you'll be eating sweet potatoes that you've grown. So do it. All right, that was a long answer. I hope I gave you your answer, right? All right, so good afternoon from South Africa. Oh, snap. Do you plan on installing a gray water system in the future? First of all, ITU, which part of South Africa do you live in? That's my question to you, largely because my wife and I will be in South Africa in 2 weeks. And so if you're in Johannesburg, let me know because that's where we'll be. Long story short, we'll be in Johannesburg, and I would love to see you and any other people that are in South Africa that may be watching this here video. However, do I plan on installing a gray water system in the future? I do. And I even love the whole concept of it, which I found out about it as I got into the whole garden scenario. But for those that don't know, the gray water system is a way in which you can use water that you are already using for the garden. So a lot of people use like filters and things like that to make sure that they can use it safely, because you know a lot of things are going through the water as we use the water in our homes. But nonetheless, in it all, like, I love the overall system and I think it's cool. I would have to personally do more research on how to do it, how it flows, how to do it correctly, how to do it safely. But it is something that I'm looking to do. Right now I have rainwater barrels that I collect rainwater as it rains to use in the garden, as well as to give water to the chicken. And so I have that system going. However, the gray water I haven't tapped into, but that is something that will take place. So I love it. I love it. I wrote it down, right? So all the different ideas and things that y'all share with me, and things that I'm like, oh man, you're right. I'm gonna go ahead and make it happen. So best way to grow organic vegetables. I'm assuming you're saying that the gray water system is the best way to grow organic vegetables, or if you're asking me, definitely let me know. It's a question. So I see Miss Emmy. Oh, I love it. I live in an apartment, so I grow my sweet potatoes in a bucket, so I don't really have room for a lot. I'm pretty much just growing them for fun, and I've been growing them for a couple of months. Okay, so if you've been growing them for a couple of months, you have only a couple of months to grow. And yes, growing them in buckets is a beautiful way to do it in a confined space, right? And which I love that you even put that here, because I have friends that live in apartments and they're like, oh man, like I want to start a garden, but I live in an apartment. But I'm like, okay, gotcha. With the asking, I say, okay, I mean, you can still do it, just do it in a scale in which you can. So grow bags, buckets, hydroponics, aeroponics are ways in which you can grow on a apartment balcony, or even inside in the apartment with the hydroponic systems and things that I've even shown, which are even back there. I'm gonna give them a use later this month. But nonetheless, in it all, I love that. Yes, buckets are a way to grow. And to your point, you're growing them to see what they look like and all that good stuff, which is fun. It's definitely fun. And I'm wondering, how are you like trellising the leaves and the vines? Because I'm sure you're seeing them. A couple of months in growing, you see them. So what are you using to like keep them from just growing everywhere horizontally? Like, what are you doing? Boom. Shouts out to you, Miss or Florence, right? Hello to you as well. Best way to grow organic vegetables. Man, that's a fun question because there are so many different ways that you can do it. My first answer, I would say, would be, if you want to grow with soil, right, then I would say growing in grow bags is a great starter way to grow organically. And when I say grow bags, I have videos on them, but usually like black circular bags. You can get them in different gallon amounts. I usually use 5 or 7 gallon grow bags, but nonetheless, I then use organic soil. I have a mixture that I use, which I put in a video, but nonetheless, we're here, right? So it's like perlite, it's manure, it's soil, like bag garden soil that is organic on the package, perlite and manure and fertilizer, right? Those 4 things that I use to make the soil and all that good stuff. And so perlite is good because it keeps aeration, or keeps air to be able to get into the soil, right? And the manure is great because it helps to give nutrients to the plant. And then that's why fertilizer is great as well. And then the soil is just a way in which the roots can thrive. Okay, and so why is this the best? Because with the grow bags, it's a way in which you can grow, but you can also move the grow bags whenever, let's say, a place is more shady than you need it to be, or want it to be, or desire it to be, right? Or you can move it if it rains hard or something like that. It's not like anchored, which, I'm assuming that you're just testing. You're like a beginner gardener trying to see how can I garden in a way that it's organic, it's safe, it's fun, and it's fruitful, right? And so grow bags is what I would say to do it, right? But I would say whatever it is that you're looking to grow, just make sure it's the season to grow it in, because if not, you'll be disappointed that it's not growing the way you want it to grow, and then it will discourage you from growing again. So definitely be mindful of the seasons, because it is a real thing. All right, so hopefully that answered your question. Hello again, Florence, and to everybody on the chat. I love you all. I appreciate you all. The vines are growing on a tomato trellis. Okay, cool. So you already know. You already know the necessity of a trellis, because those vines can grow, and those vines will grow, and you have to make sure you're prepared for them, because they're gonna do what they want to do. You just need to make them do what you want them to do. But nonetheless, hey, thank you very much. New here, I'm going to go watch your videos. Hope you have an amazing weekend. Yes, I'm a new gardener. Awesome. Welcome to the gardening world. Now, let me tell you, RM, the thing about being a new gardener, and I'm sure others can attest to it if you have grown anything, that when you start growing stuff, it's hard to stop. Like, you'll plant one thing, and then you'll get excited about it and look at it and all those different things like that, and then you're gonna plant another thing, and then you're gonna get excited about that, and then you're gonna plant another thing. Like, you just start playing. So I say that to say, go ahead and lay out your plan, your chart, your things in which you want to grow, and stick to it, okay? And see it through. And I don't even know why that little itch, that bug, that whatever it is happens, but it's a thing. Like, it's a thing. And all my gardening friends, like, they know it's a thing. See? Boom. I'm struggling. See? It's a thing. It's a thing. I don't know if it's like maybe we plant something and they're like, oh man, it's not growing as fast as we want it to, so let me get another thing to grow there. Or it's just like, oh man, I can actually plant something. I can grow something. It didn't die, so let me get something else. But RM, being a beginner gardener, know what you want to grow and stick to it, because you're going to go to the stores, you're going to see all of these different plants and things, and you're going to say, like, I can grow all of these. Like, I can do all of these. I can do all these. What you do, I'm telling you, lock in. It's a thing, okay? And, gardeners that are true to themselves can attest that it's a thing. All right, it really is. I'm struggling. Oh, thank you, Angel. Love you as well. I'm struggling. See, boom shakalaka. And here we go. It says it's E2, my man. My name is pronounced E2. I live. Oh, cool. It's outside Johannesburg. Would love to host you all. Awesome. Okay. So what I am asking, E2, if you could email me. My email is in the about section on the YouTube channel. Email me and I'll email and talk to you. And hopefully we'll be able to connect, right, while I'm down there. Over there. I guess it is down because I'm in the US and I have to go like down, but I'm actually going up because South Africa is beautiful, and I'm so happy to go. When I tell you I'm so happy, like my luggage is right here. I bought luggage for this trip, but nonetheless, here we go. We're not here for that. And so boom, it's my soils. Getting that right is a thing. Yes. Soils, yes, that is a thing. In which, man, y'all are just reminding me again. I'm just gonna put on my list to do. I have like a ebook that I wrote that I just need to get out there, that even talks about soil mixtures and things like that, bringing what I've done on videos into a book form, because I have a bunch of videos, so the thought that somebody can go through and sift them through them all and see them all is probably not a thing. But so I'm gonna work on that. We're gonna get you that mixture. But nonetheless, yes, you definitely want to, depending on what you're growing in. She said a bucket, and so you're probably gonna have like 3 different ways in which you can mix very well for a bucket. And you're gonna definitely want to use some soil. You're going to use some cocoa coir. You're going to want to use some fertilizer, and some manure, right? Those things are what you're going to use, largely because with the coco coir, it's going to allow for the soil to keep its moisture, because with buckets, especially plastic buckets, the moisture is just going to go through, whoosh. No moisture is staying anywhere, okay? Because that plastic isn't permeable, or it doesn't like retain moisture. So the coco coir is going to be that benefit to you, or you can use peat moss. I personally like to use coco coir over peat moss, which is why, boom, see, there you go, Miss Angel. I personally like to use coco coir over peat moss, because so I'm trying to think like how deep I want to get into it, but I look into like how things are sourced, because definitely want to do things organically, do things naturally, but do things in a way that I don't cause harm to the environment, right? So it's no good for me to grow and eat well if somewhere around the world they are suffering because of it, right? And so with coco coir, it's just naturally harvested from cocoa, like coconut. It's coconut husk that it's derived from, which we know people drink coconut water, so many uses for coconut, so it's already a thing that's in production. They just found another use for a product that was already thrown away. So boom, shakalaka. With peat moss, it's actually pulled from, let me just say, like a, not rainforest, but like a mossy, watery type area in Canada mainly. And so as they strip the peat moss from that natural habitat, excuse me, it's causing harm to that environment. So I'm like, oh snap. Let me not be in support by purchasing the peat moss, not putting it into demand, even if it's just me, right? But let me not purchase the peat moss, because it's then causing a cycle of harm in Canada for my benefit here in the US. And so, and ultimately, that's my fault. That's my decision, which is why, like I said, I like to use coco coir over peat moss. They both have the same benefits, qualities, and ideas overall. However, you know my why, right? And I think more than anything, boom, give information and let you decide. Like all my videos, hey, it's up to you. So boom, 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 boom. Question: when seeds say zones, do you really have to only use the seed for that zone? So I'm gonna say first off, yes, and even with that, I would say you will want to use the seed in the time frame of your zone. I think that's really more so what those seed packets are saying. And so on the back of seed packets, they'll give you sometimes a chart of like zones, right? And you'll be able to know based off of that chart where you are. And based off of where you are, it tells you a month time frame in which it's ideal to grow the seeds. And I will say, the people that put the seeds in the packet definitely want the best results for the seeds in the packet, right? And so just think about it like that. If you had a product and you said use it this way, and you said use it this way because you knew it would yield the best results, then with that in mind, if it yields the best results, people will keep buying from you because they're getting what they want from the product that they bought. And so even with the seeds, they are mindful of where you are, the zones and all that good stuff, the time frame, so that when you plant the seeds, it's going to grow. And as the seeds grow and do what it does, you're going to keep coming back to them. So I had to put that in my mind. So that was for me, as it is for you, because I was just planting seeds. I was buying them, planting. I'm like, oh well, we're gonna see what happens. And a lot of times things didn't happen because I was playing them out of their season. So yes, long story short, you definitely want to stick to the zones and the time frames in which the package says, because they have the best interest in mind for the seeds and the product that they have, as well as ultimately for you. All right. So hopefully that helps. Ba-boom, 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 ba-boom. Yes, E2, definitely get back to me. Question with seeds, boom. Yes, I love growing things that grow pretty quick, like microgreens, while I'm growing things that take longer to grow. I also like to grow herbs because I like to cook. All that's beautiful. Interesting, because my wife on the last live asked me to grow microgreens and I haven't, so I will at the end of this month. So you all will see some videos with microgreens, as well as my hydroponic system as well, because those are ways in which you can grow things that they will grow faster than outside in the soil or a greenhouse environment. Okay, so shouts out to the microgreens. I'm gonna be interested to see how that goes. Coco coir, is that something you can get in all states? all states. Yes, that is something you can get all. Well, I don't know, because California usually is kind of interesting. So I source mine from Amazon, in which, in different videos where I've used it, I'll put links to it, to those specific ones. But I definitely get mine from Amazon, and I'm in Florida, and so Florida is a state in which you can get it. So to say all, I don't know, because there are some states that are like, they say no to certain things, and usually California is like one of them to a lot of things. So hopefully you don't live in California. Or if you do, ship it to Nevada, go get it. It'll be a reason why you should go to Vegas. But here we go. I can't find the cocoa stuff. Oh man, that's not good. Okay, so Angela, or excuse me, Angel, I don't know where you are, but hopefully maybe the Amazon situation, boom. Okay, boom, boom, boom. Absolutely, price is important. So I will say Coco Core probably will be per like mass, if you will. It may be a little bit more than peat moss. However, like, don't be discouraged when you go to purchase Coco Core on Amazon, because it'll be like in a brick, in the size of a brick, like in the size of a laptop or whatever. And what it does do is expand. So when you add water to it, which you should add a little bit at a time, it will expand. So it will expand as, peat moss comes in a big old barrel. It's like, whoa, I'm getting a lot for my money. Yes. But you'll get the cocoa core in the box and be like, this little box, what is this for $20, $25? But add some water, it's going to expand, and you'll be pleased. You'll be pleased with it, truth be told. It'll also help you to reduce the amount of times that you have to water, because it will retain moisture. And if you're growing in buckets, which again I'm assuming, RM, you're in Florida, it's gonna come your way. Coco Core, it's here. Because I'm here. But nonetheless, boom. With Angel, with your buckets, definitely Coco Core and all that good stuff. Boom, Florida's in the house. That's gonna help to retain your moisture, just as your peat moss does. That's exactly what it does. It retains some moisture, and its natural habitat, as well as for the consumer that purchases it and buys it. So, boom. I love y'all, man. Some great questions y'all are asking so far. Boom, boom, boom. Just found. Boom, boom, boom. There it is. Texas here. Okay. So we're in the same zone ultimately. Depending on which part of Texas you're in. But 9 in the house. So boom. Yup. Pack for $7.99. 1.4 pounds. That's pretty good. I usually like to go as much as far as weight and pound as I can, as far as financially as I can, because the smaller you go, obviously the more you'll pay, but the more you go, the less you'll pay, as far as like per pound, right? You're gonna pay more money the bigger it is, but per pound you'll pay less. And so equating all those things is why I do more. But nonetheless, I love it. Texas and Florida is in the house. South Africa is in the house. Oh man. I'm excited for South Africa. I think big things are coming. So y'all gonna be in for a treat with that. So anyway, we'll keep going. Maybe I could do an interview with E2 in South Africa. That would be pretty cool. But here we go. Let's see. Here we go. So you have done an excellent job. This is my lemongrass video. You've done a great job growing lemongrass. The green tops that you plan to compost are as valuable, if not more, than the bottom hardy lean lemongrass. You can cut the grass to 4-inch pieces and put them over a large clean sheets to dry in the sun or a dehydrator. And then once they're dry, you can make a powder. Oh snap. And it's a wonderful lemony aroma from the tops. Oh man. So long story short, I grew lemongrass and I thought the only beneficial things to the lemongrass was the bottom white pieces. But in this video, I'm being told that the top pieces are useful as well. So again, man, shouts out to the Garden With Me family, because you all keep us all knowledgeable of certain things. And so, man, y'all are right with me. So when you grow lemongrass, you can actually keep the tops, use the tops, just dry them out, and you can source them accordingly. So, boop, now we know. Congrats. Pretty soon you'll have so many. You'll research new ways to use eggs. So this is, here we go for the egg video, because the ladies are producing eggs. When I tell you, they producing eggs. And truth be told, Here we go right here. I actually have some that I can show you all that I picked up yesterday. And this is after 3 days. Right here. Boom. Look at my ladies. Brown and green. So as the joke says, there is a such thing as green eggs and ham. Okay? But these ladies are producing, and I'm so excited for them in doing so, because I've been able to give some to friends, to family, and you know, we'll just keep going. We'll still, it turns out well. Okay, the chickens are doing what they need to do, which is make eggs. Okay, because they were just eating. But I will say, for those that may be thinking about chickens or do have chickens, when they start producing eggs, they eat a whole lot more. Like, I'm going through 50-pound bags like it's nobody business. Okay, but you know, I get it. Right, when you're pushing something out, you definitely need more within. It's just natural. Okay, don't think too deep into it. And so Texas here, Mississippi's in the house. Shouts out to you, Mississippi, which I've driven through Mississippi on the way to Louisiana. So shouts out to you, Mississippi. Stopped in Biloxi as well. But anyway, we're not here for my travel. It's been my travel endeavors. But here we go. I am in Florida Zone 9B. What can I plant now? I lost everything in the storm. Oh man, sorry to hear that, Florence. Definitely sorry to hear that. Because you know, hopefully it was just a garden that you lost, because a lot of things, you know, can be lost. And so I'm glad that you're doing well and all that good stuff. And so now that we're in the month of October, we are now in the fall garden scenario, which of course I do videos every month to talk about different things that we can grow in that month. And in the month of October, we can grow the brassica family, such as your collard greens, your kale, your spinach, your Swiss chard, and things like that. Of course, lettuce. But then you can grow your root vegetables like beets, like carrots, and you know, potatoes, be it sweet potato, regular potato. You can grow those too. And then like herbs, grow some basil. We can grow some parsley. We can grow onions, right? That's a thing as well. Chives is a thing. Of course, beans, sweet beans, pole beans, bush beans. I love bush beans. Okay, we can grow those things as well. But those are things that you can grow, and I list things that I'm gonna grow. But if you have something that I did not say that you're like, oh, can I grow that? Definitely let me know, and I'll let you know. But I usually say things that I'm gonna grow, because I don't like to tell people to do something that I'm not gonna do myself. Boom. All right, so here's the secret for that. Love that Biloxi Beach. Yes, the Biloxi Beach is cool. It is nice. I'm in Tampa, but I live in Fort Myers. Oh, cool. I'm in Tampa too. And I live in Tampa. But, oh, you live in Fort Myers. So, yes, Fort Myers did take a hit quite extensively. And so definitely prayerful for you that the things in which you did lose, or different things that you did, you know, get affected by the storm. I pray that you get them recovered back to you tenfold, and that life goes on smoother on the other end of dealing with the tropical storm. So, you know, and I hope that your garden grows splendidly well because of it. I hope and pray that the storm waters that came in was the exact water necessary for abundance of growth in your garden in ways in which it wasn't grown before. How about that? Okay. How about the new water that came in is better than the old water? Huh? Who knows? But that's my prayer and desire for you. So he says, have you ever grown or thought about growing pumpkins? I've seen people grow them and it seems interesting, but I've never done it. So, funny thing is, I definitely did think about it, because I'm a curious gardener. I'll grow things just to see what it grows like, what it looks like, all those things. However, with the pumpkins, I did not grow them because, like watermelon, pumpkins are a vegetable that like grows out. So it's like outgrowing and takes up space. I try not to grow things that takes up space. Or if it does take up space, I try to find ways to trellis it. However, pumpkins are big, right? And so not only would I have a trouble trying to figure out what type of trellis could support them, probably like a cow panel, but outside of that, I didn't want to take up space. But then with that, also they will bring rodents. Rodents will come and try to eat in the pumpkins. And I did not want to deal with that. Y'all know my rodent problems that I've had before, and I didn't want to perpetuate it going forward. So I will probably shy away from growing pumpkins or watermelons unless I had it in something that protected them. So maybe like a greenhouse, or maybe like a netted area where different rodents and things couldn't get to it. But I would hate it if I grew a pumpkin and it grew very well and I went out and it was eaten. Oh, I would hate that. Oh, I would hate that. So for that reason, for those reasons, I have not grown pumpkins. But if you do want to grow pumpkins, now is the time. It's definitely a fall weather plant, especially with you living in Florida, as I do. We can not grow certain things that are specifically for the fall, in the spring, and the summer because it's too hot. And so definitely, boom, boom, boom. You definitely want to keep that in mind. So I'm from Texas as well. The RGV, right by the border of Mexico. All right, now Texas in the house. 2 Texas people in the house. Shouts out to you. Right on the border. The RGV. I don't know what RGV stands for. That's like some Texas terms that us people here in Florida and me previously living in Georgia, we're not aware of. So RGV, let me know. Thank you so much. Of course, of course. As for the onions, we can grow any onion, but here in the South, we will get the best results with short day onions. Our sun is stronger, but the daylight is a shorter time. Boom shakalaka. See, when the family combines with the hearts and minds, we can do so much in a short period of time. Ho ho! I was attempting to rhyme, and it happened. So anyway, that's either here or there. Long story short, I'm an only child, so I do different things that entertains myself, and so you just happen to be a part of it right now. All right, E2, you took away your message. Okay, no problem. We're still here for you, E2. Sugar baby watermelon plants stay about 3 feet long. Oh, boom shakalaka. Now you know. Sugar baby. Okay, sugar baby it is. Well, I'll look to grow sugar babies in the spring and just see how they grow. Now, I'm curious, do sugar babies come in various colors? Because I'm very curious about that yellow watermelon. I haven't had one, I've seen it, and curiosity. Curiosity leads to gardening, okay, in my life. Curiosity leads to gardening, and so, sugar babies. Let me know if you know, if not, I'll look it up. Oh, I didn't know that. Thanks. Of course, of course, of course, we're here for you. You're welcome. Yes, 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 yes. Info is always great. And then Rio Grande Valley area. Okay, nice. It sounds beautiful. You know, when all those words are together, it just sounds beautiful. Rio Grande Valley. You know, because even in Vegas, there's a hotel called the Rio. It may be still there, but Rio, and then you have Grande, which is like great grand in Spanish, and then it's like Valley, which is like always a peaceful thought for me. But anyway, that's just for me. So you have the Rio Grande Valley. So shouts out to you. What are you growing in the RGB? Now that I know what it is. So here we go. That's exciting. Good for you. Talking about the chickens again. If you have questions, drop them right now. If I don't see any questions, I'm gonna go back to previous questions asked in videos. So that's what's taking place during this here live Q&A. But obviously, you all get preferential treatment because you're here with me. And so, boom, shouts out to them. Yay, eggs. Absolutely. I'm so excited. Those chickens start laying eggs because I bought them as a chick, as chicks, and then I raised them. And so it probably took about, so what are we in? Like September is when they really started producing, the end of September. I bought them in like March time frame. So what is that? 3 minus 10, that's 7. And so it took about 7 months, 6 to 7 months to actually produce. So if you're looking at getting chickens, that's how long you're gonna probably take. But once it's popping, them ladies are popping. I showed y'all the eggs, and so they are doing that every day. But nonetheless, we're here. Beautiful family, thanks for taking time. Boom, 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 boom. Awesome, awesome. Just bought one of those units. It came with some feed and some useful instructions. That's funny. So they were talking about the hydroponic system, the Spider Farm hydroponic system to be exact. And so they were given feed with their system, but some instructions that were unuseful, which is true. That's why I do videos for you all with certain things that I purchase and buy, because, you know, I know what it's like to get things and try to figure out how to do a thing. However, I'm here to help as a family, a member of your garden community, to be able to buy things, do things, show you things, so that when you do those things, you know how to do it and you're confident. Because, you know, it's nothing like having confidence in doing something new, which is usually not the case. But if I'm here, that can help you to feel confident in doing whatever it is you're trying to do that is new, let me know, okay? Because you know, I'm here for beginner gardeners, because I know what it's like I know the mindset. I even each and every day feel like a beginner gardener, even though I've been doing it for 3 years now. I still feel like a beginner. So I'm here for you. My heart is connected with yours. Okay. Long story short. So it says yellow watermelon is yum. I don't know if there's a sugar baby variety. All right, so we'll find out. And if it is, I'm gonna be growing it. And if I'm gonna be growing it, I'm gonna be showing it. And so we'll be able to see all that good stuff. And I'll let the kids do a taste test as well, because kids are honest. Okay, kids are honest. They're honest. So anyway, so you are growing valley lemons. Ooh. Oranges, grapefruit, tangerine, Mexican limes, avocado, and lots of peppers and veggies during the seasons. That's pretty cool. So I love it that you're growing a lot of fruits. That's pretty cool. So my question for you is, how are you keeping away the rodents? Because that was one of the reasons why I believe I had the rodents, because I had pineapples growing. They didn't really mess with the mangoes. The avocado is still growing. They didn't really mess with the bananas as well, but the pineapples they wanted. But I didn't see you say pineapple, so you might not have a problem. But I love all of that. Oh, I wish I could just see your situation. Like, it's probably so beautiful. Um, Man, probably just walk around the ground and just eat as I go, or pick and eat. But nonetheless, I love that type of stuff. Lemongrass makes a great ground cover. Green mulch option. The biomass is substantial. No, that's pretty cool. No, so he too is so true with the lemongrass scenario. The thing about lemongrass that I did not know, the thing you should know, is that the green blade scenarios that are at the top are like, they have the ability to like cut your skin if you rub it the wrong way, which I don't know the right way to rub it. But every time I deal with it now, I make sure I have long sleeves. I make sure I have gloves, because I've touched it without, and I had like little cuts, little blister scenarios. So if you are growing lemongrass, if you do have lemongrass around, definitely be mindful of that, because you can be surprisingly cut like I was, and that was not good. That was not good. Yes, lemon watermelons taste amazing. You should definitely try growing them, and I will. Okay, I will this spring give them a grow, and definitely excited for you all to see it. And so I definitely want you all to know that this here live Q&A is for an hour, so we probably have about, to be exact, 17 minutes to grow to talk about these different things. So definitely want you to throw in your questions. Get your questions in now so that you can get an immediate response. So here we are, LOL, with your remedy now. Thank you. I appreciate that. I don't want to say I worked hard. It just happened. But here we are. Jerry, hey there. Never been here before. Glad you're live streaming. I've seen a few of your videos. I've got big question if you're taking them. Yes, I'm definitely taking questions. I've got a question about tomatoes. So definitely let me know your question about tomatoes. I have some experiences with tomatoes, okay, that I could definitely speak from. So definitely drop your questions. I'm here for it. That's what I'm here for. Your questions. Yes, indeed. And so you're welcome, Florence. Definitely welcome. And I'm even trying to go back now to see what you last said that you may be saying thank you to now. Boom. Okay. Yep. The storm. Boom shakalaka. We there. And so definitely let me know the question that you have. So yes, with the hydroponic system, I love the system. I'm going to give it a grow. Some things that I'm going to do this time differently, so I'm telling you all what's to come, is that I'm going to grow the seeds indoors first by way of using a wet paper towel. So for those that don't know, you can start seeds indoors. All the seeds need is a moist surface or environment to sprout in, okay? And so I'm gonna get some paper towels too, spray them down with water, put the seeds in it, cover them with the wet one, and the wet one cover the seeds, and they're gonna sprout. And so with that sprout, I'm then gonna transfer the sprout to the hydroponic systems for those sprouts to grow into seedlings, okay? So I'm definitely excited for that situation and transition for the hydroponic growing. Why am I doing it that way? Because you can't start seeds with soil and then transfer them into hydroponics, because you're going to get like that dirt and all of that with the roots, and you don't want that in your system because it can clog your system and mess up your system. So with these systems, you want to use liquid products only. So Again, that video is going to be all into that. That may not even be your thing, but I'm sharing because we're here. So, Jerry, boom. So my tomatoes froze, but left lots of green ones. Are they going to ripen away? And is it safe to eat them if they do? So they froze. Okay. So I'm gonna keep reading. You say some look undamaged, but I'm afraid they might get mold or bacteria. I haven't tried tasting them because I want to be sure they're okay to eat if they ripen right on the porch with their stems on. Some of the vines are even half red already, but should I toss them or try them out? Thanks all ahead for your answer. Okay, cool. So you have tomatoes that have frozen over, which my first question would be, how did they freeze, right? But even outside of how did they freeze, if they are green currently, man, what I would do is to and you're saying you're defrosting them, I believe is what you're saying. They're going to ripen away, and if it's okay to eat and things like that. Now here it is, right? With anything that's frozen, frost too nice. Okay, anything that's frozen, usually it's good, right? Because even when we freeze food, it's, I mean, because tomatoes food, but nonetheless, when we freeze things, it's usually good when you defrost it. But with that, okay, the weather, boom shakalaka. And truth be told, like, tomatoes really don't like frost. So you definitely want to be mindful in growing your tomatoes with all of that frost, and things like that. But nonetheless, I believe that your tomatoes will be good. Definitely bring them inside, I would say. And then as they defrost inside, give them a cut, slice them bad boys, and you can eat your green tomatoes, or you can let it sit on the counter and let it continue to ripen from there, in which your colors, your reds and things like that will start to come through and things like that, and you can use the tomatoes as necessary. Now you may want to pickle these tomatoes as a way to like use them beyond the current now. That could be a thing if you have like hot sauces or sauces or salsas. That would be a great use for those tomatoes. So now is all about using tomatoes in their current state. So I would say to be thoughtful in the sense that you're going to now be using green tomatoes as opposed to the attempt to be using red tomatoes or whatever color tomato you were growing. Because there are yellow tomatoes. There are not yellow, orange. It's like orange is yellow. The pineapple tomato. I love that one. That's my favorite. It's a little small situation like that. But I divert. Jerry, we're talking about you. And so with that, I would say be mindful to think of different ways in which you can use green tomatoes. And so pickling them, turn them into sauces, turn them into salsa, are different ways in which you can do so. So I would focus my attention on that as opposed to trying to like get what is to what I want, which is maybe a a red tomato. So boom shakalaka, Jerry. I hope that is helpful for you. All right. So I don't see any more questions or anything like that. So I'm gonna keep going. Looks great. Excited for the fall garden. But boom. Oh, this person right here is at 32 degrees. So maybe that's Jerry. I don't know. No. This person. Boom. They are experiencing frost weather as well. Jerry, of course. Thank you. No, thank you. Right? Thank you for your question and all that good stuff, right? Because it's going to help somebody else. They may be going through what you're talking about, or they may, well, people down in Florida, we're not. Texas, probably not as well. But where are you at, Jerry? Let us know where you are, so that we can hope for the best for you, because 32-degree weather, it's not for me. It's not for me. Even our friend E2 all the way in South Africa, or New Hampshire. Oh, I have never been to New Hampshire, and if I could be honest, I don't plan to go to New Hampshire. Like, it just seems cold. I don't even know. Even during summertime, it just seems cold. Beautiful foliage, but getting cold early, and then Florida. Yeah, I mean, you're getting cold. Period. Something that we here in Florida really don't have to deal with or think about. Like, our cold is like 60-degree mornings, and probably you'll laugh at that, but the mountains, okay, all right, the mountains will do it. Everybody has their why, and the mountains is your why. So I love that, Jerry. Enjoy the mountains. Take your mountain photos and all those things, and make people like me jealous, okay? Because we don't have mountains here in Florida. We have beaches, but it's not tit for tat right now. But so yeah, no, for real though, take pictures of the mountains because people need to know. the beautiful things about certain places that they have not been to. And for you, it's the mountains. So boom shakalaka. And so let's see. We're gonna keep going and keep flowing. Enjoy the warm weather and the heat savings. Yes, we save in heat, but excuse me, we spend in air, right? There's the air side of things that we spend money on. But I'm gonna make this quick little move because my wife is about to make a move out of the garage, and so I'm gonna just hold it right now. So definitely let me know what questions that you all may have because I'm away from the computer. So I need those. Okay, I need your questions. What are your questions? Drop them down below. Q&A time. We have 10 more minutes. Unless you use these 10 minutes improperly, okay? And it can be used properly with your questions. Let me know. I don't see questions. I don't see them. My bad, y'all. I had to say bye to the wife before she left. And so, have you looked into Korean natural farming? I found it. Boom, my bad, y'all. I'm walking and trying to read. Obviously, that was my first time doing it. We're here. Oh, sometimes you gotta laugh at yourself, y'all. Laugh at yourself. Somebody else is. And so, have you looked into Korean natural farming? I found it to be affordable considering the cost of living plus how expensive gardening has become. I've actually seen it before, but that's it. Like, I've seen it enough to say I know that it's a thing, but not enough to know what takes place with that thing. So I'm gonna have to look into it. Long story short, I will have to look into it. I love it. Like, what are some of the cost-effective things that you find with Korean natural farming that you're like, oh man, Ricky, you should be mindful of it. So E2, definitely let me know, and I'll definitely look it up as well. Make sure I put that on my list. Boom. Okay, put that on my list. So let me say this. Let me just say this, okay? You know, we're here, we're family, and even to the point of Trailer Park Gardener. What's up, family? Okay, and so I'm gonna just have a family moment right now. So my wife and I are going out to South Africa, like I said, in a couple of weeks from now. We're actually going there to check out the land in the area in consideration of moving to South Africa. Okay. And so I say that to say, the garden as you see it now, obviously will not be what it will be there. However, it will be one there because gardening is what I do. And so I'm definitely like mindful of things that can be done right now, but knowing that the idea is to move there. So I definitely look it up. It may be something that I do there. But, you know, so definitely be prayerful with us and keep us in your thoughts and hopes and things like that, because that is a thought that we're having, taking the family over to SA, Joburg to be exact. So, cat's out the bag, okay? Cat's out the bag. We're definitely going with that in mind. So E2, you being on this here live touches me and speaks so much volumes to me in ways in which you will never know, right? It's just a reminder that there is family somewhere that I look to be, but nonetheless, we're here. Boom. Let's go through these here things. So, to answer your question, E2, long story short, I've seen it, don't know much about it, but I'm definitely curious about it, and maybe that's something that we could do. So, thanks for this video talking about me going to the nursery. Which I did that video because somebody asked me, thank you, E2. Somebody asked me about what nurseries do you go to, or nurseries can you go to in the area, which my area is Tampa. And so I just did that video to show you all what you can expect, which plant nurseries are a great resource. Usually they're a local mom and pop shop type of situation and establishment. And so it's always great to find the nurseries in your area and try to patronize them first. Now, some things they may be a little bit more, some things they may be less, which quite honestly, the nurseries here I found to be less than like the Home Depots and Lowe's and Tractor Supply, in which, you know, I'm like, hey, I'm here for the people. And so I do go to my local nurseries first, even for like plant feed, for feed for the chickens, and the list goes on for my seedlings. They're actually cheaper than the Home Depots and things. Home Depot is going up. I don't know if y'all noticed, but for like a ceiling, it's like $4 for one, which I used to can get four for $4. So maybe find you a nursery. And even too, they are more friendly and or excuse me, not just mindful, but they're more friendly as well. Well, in the nurseries I've come across, they're more friendly and knowledgeable about the product, and you can tell they genuinely care about the things in which you're talking about. They're not just trying to tell you about something that they might have heard about. And so that's why I like nurseries. That's why I did that video, just to even pay homage to the local nurseries. But then outside of that as well, to say, hey, it's going to be some good. All right, so then outside of that, I think I did see somebody say, do you grow citrus fruits like lemons or oranges? I did have those in the garden. I cut them down out of fear because I was told that fruit rats is a thing, and I didn't want rats in my yard. So I cut them. So I don't. All right, so I'm gonna keep reading. And it says, my grandpa has a few lemon trees and an orange tree, and there are a bunch of fruit on the trees right now, and they are getting ripe. Oh man, that sounds so awesome. Shouts out to your grandpa. I love to be that kind of grandpa, right? Because what greater joy can you have to know that you're going out to a place and you can pick fruit or food that you've actually grown yourself and done yourself. So shouts out to your grandpa. I hope that you can enjoy those fruits that are grown, and you can definitely know the difference between what has been naturally grown and what has been bought, right? Which, they've been grown as well. It's just not as natural as your grandpa. And so, good morning to my Atlanta family. She's been a part of the garden family for the beginning, I will say. So, shouts out to you. How are things growing for you? What are you growing in your garden, right? We used to do like monthly calls and things like that with a smaller group of people, and she was a part of that group. Who's that? Ricky, what's up, man? You want to come? Come on. Since you want to come on out, Kids gonna be kids, and they want to see what your dad is doing. Come over here, man. Come in the video. We at the end of it, and so you can say hello. The dog next door is doing this thing. Oh man, Rain, your face looks like morning. Okay, so here's my lovely son. Here's Ricky, co-star of some of the videos. Say hello to the people.
Hi.
Do you like the garden, Ricky? You do?
Yeah.
What do you like about the garden?
I just want to play with my toys.
Oh, you want to play with your toys? You don't want to do this video? You don't want to do this video? Okay. Well, tell the people bye then.
Bye.
And say, I hope you have a great garden.
I hope you get a great garden.
All right. Okay. You can play a little bit. Okay. Oh, Rain. Okay. The kids are in. Hey, Rain. So, I don't know what this chat situation is. We're going to definitely delete those. But, Rain, they are here saying good morning, and also that they are gardeners as well. So, can you say hello to the beautiful people?
Hi, you can't see my face.
Yeah, well, they can see your face. It's just the text. We can't see it. So, what do you like about our garden? Well, we have a little bit of time, so don't take too long, okay? You like the chickens? You like the carrots? Okay, all right. I actually planted some more carrots, so we'll see how those grow. Anything that you would like to say to the people before you go? Aww, that's so nice. We love Jones. Love. We love, and we love loving people. So thank you, baby. All right. So, or you want to sit while I answer questions? I have 2 minutes. So anyway, I'm gonna get to them, okay? Or what you want to do?
I don't know.
Okay. All right. So here we go. Boom, boom, boom. Thank you for the love. Thank you, Trade the Park Garden. I appreciate that. I think I started the fall sowing too late. The cold weather came early this year. Yes, I think with the tropical storm, it definitely did bring up the cold weather much faster than I was even expecting, because it's definitely been cool here, right? Not cold, but cool. And so yeah, no, I definitely understand. So hey, but I will say, in the case of that, what you can do is you can still plant the things that you want to plant. And I would just say water it midday when it's the warmest. Water it then, largely because, of course, you don't want the water to freeze or harden or anything like that on your roots. But if watering is a thought, water in like midday, as opposed to like summer and spring. And then your beautiful sister can help you, brother. As opposed to the spring and the summertime, you can garden. You want to garden in the morning, but when it's cold, you don't want to garden then. So, or excuse me, water. Definitely talking about watering. But I love it when you grow. All right, great people. Now I love it. Thank you so much, beautiful children. Hey, Ricky, can you stand up, please? Yeah, brother. You have your seat clothes on right now, and so you don't. Oh man, those things are dirty. But anyway, fun thing about having kids.
Those fit me. I don't know.
Fun things about having kids. You never know. But in it all, with it all, hey, Garden family, I thank you all for the questions that you have dropped so far. I thank you so much for the love that you've shown for my family, talking about the storm and all that good stuff, as well as to the kids, because they popped in, which kids gonna do, what kids gonna do. And those that are parents with children, you already know, you just have to be adaptable and adjustable, because they're kids, they need love. So, with that being said, I hope and pray that your garden is turning out to be a great success, and everything is as you want it to be. If you have any other questions, definitely let me know in the comment section. I will look to get to them. It's not promised, but I look to get to them and answer your questions. And E2, please email me, because I definitely want to connect with you when we do get to Joburg in South Africa in general, okay? So, with these things being said, I love you all. I appreciate you all. This concludes today's video. We'll look to do another one at the end of this month, because this one is because of a lack thereof for September. So we'll do another one at the end of this month. Ricky, get the ball. Ricky, get the ball. And we'll do one at the end of this month. So definitely bring your questions so that they can be answered. And Jerry, I see where you are. Hope you do live more. There's not enough people doing it. And there are many questions from lots of people. Please keep up the good work. I appreciate your efforts. Oh, man. Do live more. All right. So, I mean, truth be told, I was even debating between doing it twice a month or once a month. So, hey, here we are this month. It will end up being twice. And so, I'm open, man. I'm open because I love talking, truth be told, and I love helping, and I love people. So you put that together, that's how the benefits the live.
Me too.
And you too?
I love talking.
Oh, yes, you do. Okay, so it may be a thing that goes beyond once. So, beautiful Rain, let's tell the people we love them. We'll talk to them later, and we hope the best for your gardens, your chickens, whatever it is you're doing in the yard. We hope for the best for those that are in Texas, South Africa, Mississippi, Florida, New Hampshire, and any other place that...
New York City!
And New York City as well. We love you all. We thank you all. We'll see you on the next live.
Wait!
What is it, baby girl?
My video's called
Rain Conversations.
Rain Conversations.
Yes.
See you later, alligator, apple, wild crocodile.
Okay. Yes, sir.